released what black people need to know when dealing with the police. This is my first booklet. I'm pushing this to everybody in the black nation. On my website, blfjustice.org, blfjustice.org, and soon on our other websites, you will be able to access this and purchase it. And every black man needs to have it in his home. Every black man needs to have it in his car. Every black man needs to know how to deal with the police, what to tell the police, how to be quiet and stop undergoing confessions and ending up with long sentences because we run our mouth too much. So my brother, as with the wisdom that you have observed that I'm blessed to have, I'm here now to help legally educate the people. In the spirit of Dr. Huey P. Newton, man, we gotta know the law, apply the law, be ready to defend the law, but we gotta have knowledge, man. We're at war. We're at war, brother.
Well, we at war, my beautiful brother, but this is a question that I've always wanted to ask, and I'm doing it back here because we're gonna be there in a minute, but my main question right here. The Black Panthers have gotten a bad rap in terms of violence, and I'm gonna say it again. You won't find at my level of knowledge that the Black Panthers have ever carried the gun and ran white people out of their homes and castrated their men and disrespected their women and children. That not even among the Black Panthers. Am I correct? So how do you all get that attached to your name?
Chairman Hassan.
Well, I would say if you study history, when Nkrumah freed Africa from the British, not the British, but the United States government, that man who said, I don't get sad when chicken come, who he was talking about, a beloved president of black people, John F. Kennedy, the United States CIA on Nkrumah, and orchestrated the assassination of Patrice Lumumba in the Congos, and got after Joe Kenyatta and broke the unity of the black nation. Here you have a country who's seized by the Dutch, by the Portuguese, by the British, by all European forces, and a black man named Nkrumah stand up in the early 50s and to unite Africa, one nation at a time. The white man comes in and destroys it and use propaganda and make the Africans look like the villain while they're trying to put out the villain, lock up the Nelson Mandelas of the world, kill the Steve Biko. Well, they do the same thing in America with us. When a black united, well, let's say it like this, when a Zulu nation comes, when a Mau Mau comes, when a Maroon comes, they know the science and the history of these groups. And so when a new Black Panther comes, born off of Marcus Garvey teaching, born off of Denmark Vesey and Nat Turner, born off of the Deacons for Defense, Huey Newton, and these type of people, brother Jamil Amin and Stokely Carmichael and Dr. King and Malcolm, they can see us coming a mile away because they study our history and they start to set the traps. And they know our people are weak when it comes to the white man's sensationalism in media, and we will follow him, our oppressor, because of the psychological damage he has done to us and the misinformation that he has given us, and we are dysfunctional. So his media goes to work and make your hero look like your villain.
Wow, that's beautiful. Now, as we close, I think I saw Malik look at his clock. I know he loved time, and we're gonna go by and see the family. But my question,
gonna miss you.
But yeah, right. But one thing I noticed about you guys, brothers, I don't like that word guys. I got corrected with the Muslim one day by guys. But why do you choose the Black Panther as the symbol of the Black Panther Party?
I choose it because when you study the Black Panther Party, it took care of our babies. So you have to start with the babies. It took care of our elders. And it took the position to protect our community, protect the women. And the black male role in the African nation is to be the protector and the provider. It made the black man get up and defend the only thing God has given us, which is life. And whenever you defend life, that's God-like. Then you get to understand the Holy Quran and the Torah and the Bible when God gives you dominion. Why do you wait on somebody else to tell you to protect your lives at that time when the original Panthers got started out of Lowndes County, not too far from here, turning over to Oakland and Bobby Seals and those type. These brothers did the right thing when they went into the Capitol with them guns and ran up on Ronald Reagan. They had then finished the job, and look what Ronald Reagan did to us his 8 years, and look what he set that's still going to this day that Obama had to deal with. We never destroy our enemies. We only tell them the situation he's putting us in, but we got to start destroying our enemies like our enemies totally destroy us.
Let me say this, the Black Panther as a symbol, to me, means to organize. Its historical meaning means to organize in an uncompromising and strong way. Go back to Lowndes County, it was the Lowndes County Freedom Organization. They used the symbol of the Panther Party. And they used the symbol of the Panther Party to organize what? Black people who were in the overwhelming majority in Lowndes County to gain control of the political power, the legal power, and every bit of power in that county. That's what Kwame Ture and Stokely were working on. So it means to organize. And here we got the symbol of the Black Panther Party. They're legendary, known for organizing. And that's the continued policy of the Panther Party today, is to organize. But when you see that cat, and when you see them teeth, and you see them fangs, and you see the claws in the cat, it means that we're here to organize in an uncompromising way.
My last question, thank you, my beautiful brother. My last question, I'm gonna say at location 1. What message do you have for the Caucasians in Valdosta, Georgia, about the new Black Panther Party? Will you tell them that they are a threat, or you're a threat to them, or what do you say so they will know what do you stand for, regardless of what have been said?
I'm gonna let Mr. Chairman answer that.
I'm gonna say with any self-defining, intelligent people of the nation who come from the queens and kings of Egypt and have developed what we call civilization. We don't and are not concerned about Europeans. They got a safety net so wide, it's wider than the Atlantic Ocean. We come to save, rebuild, re-educate the young black man, the young black woman, the young black family. We come to take out the striptease out of our neighborhood, take out the whores, the drug peddlers, reinstitute education and foundation from Timbuktu, the first university. We come to find the PhDs, the bachelor's degrees, the street people, and remind them of who they are. All we tell the white people about those is stay the hell out of our way and let us save our people, since you don't give a damn about it.
Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press. I'm George Boston Ryan, brother. We really appreciate you once again. Welcome to Valdosta, my beautiful brother. Welcome to Valdosta. I love your message. I love the flavor of your nature, the nature of your flavor, brother. Peace be unto you. Yes, sir. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press, George Boston.
So this is what I'm into, legal education.
He's handing out flyers, and this is about educating the black community about their rights, and not just talking so much.
I would say this is the week, so you can have
That's my first one.
I do a lot of working hard, every day I'm working. I'm working hard for you. I know I'm working, baby.
This is what I'm into, legal education.
He's handing out flyers, and this is about educating the black community about their rights, not just talking so much.
For that,
like this case. There's so much going on.
So you can have it on your feet. I'm doing a lot of overtime. Girl, I swear I don't mind. I'm working for you, babe. 7 days a week. I work so you can have a place to sleep. Doing all this overtime, baby, so you can dress up and look fine. Girl, I'm working, yes, and I'm doing it all for you. There ain't nothing in this world, honey, I wouldn't do for you. Hey, man. Can you see I'm working hard, baby? I don't mind, I swear. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm working hard, baby. I'm up early in the morning, on my way to my job. I'm gonna work all day, won't get back home till dark, 'cause I'm working for you. 7 days a week, I work hard all day long. Girl, I don't mind working and bringing all my money home, 'cause I'm working for you, baby. I'm working 7 days, doing a lot of overtime. I want you to know I don't mind, babe. Hey, hey. I get up early in the morning, get down on my job to work. Ooh, baby, I'm working hard for you. Girl, I don't mind, working hard for you. As long as you stay home, baby, and I know what's on your mind. If you don't cheat on me while I'm doing this overtime, I'm gonna keep on working hard for you.
The petition essentially says that Mr. Watson has a duty to conduct an inquest whenever there is an unsettled issue regarding the cause and manner of death. In this instance, we believe that based upon the 2 autopsy reports which conflict with one another, that he has a duty to convene a hearing whereby jurors can decide whether Kendrick Johnson died as a result of an accident or whether it was a result of a homicide.
A coroner's inquest is an inquiry into the cause and manner of death of an individual that is conducted by a coroner, a court reporter, and 6 jurors from the county where the death occurred. We think this is critical in this matter because of the totality of the circumstances, that the official manner of death has now been concluded by the coroner. When you think about the missing clothes, the missing organs, the second autopsy, the fact that there's a video surveillance that will show what happened to Kendrick Johnson, and the fact that this coroner has to consider witness testimony, video surveillance, in light of all the other things that are questionable about this investigation, to make not only the public have confidence in this finding, but this family to have some peace of knowing what really killed their child. That's all Attorney King filed today. We were very technical in trying to get to the crux of the matter so this family can have some peace in knowing what happened to their child. And if that video shows others in that gymnasium, as has been reported, then they have a right to have this coroner's inquest. It is right and justice demands so. At this time, Attorney King and I will try to answer a few questions about our strategy going forward and how we think this is going to be timely resolved, is our belief.
How long will it take to get a decision, and what is your strategy going forward?
Well, I will talk about the timetable, and I will defer to the co-counsel, Attorney King, who's been doing all the filings in this matter, to talk a little more about strategy. The timing is set for October 30th to at least have a hearing to answer this question about the video surveillance coming forward. It has been told to this family that the video surveillance in the high school gymnasium is an academic record. Now, you know, when you think just common sense, let's not even talk about the law for a second. Common sense would suggest that a video surveillance tape is not an academic record. It is there for people to be able to look at the contents of it to decide if something happened. So Attorney King and I will present on behalf of this family reasons why this videotape should be released. And then you have a follow-up before we talk about it.
Well, yes, but I guess I need to answer to my first question. But the second question I had is the school district told me that it's a privacy issue, which is the reason why they can't give you the video, and that attorneys knew that, and all they have to do was file a motion to get the video.
Now, you know, and Attorney King can address this. In this age of technology, all this technology here in this courtroom, how easy would it be to gray out the faces of the others and release that video versus trying to put up road barriers to the truth?
Would you like to
Well, with regards to the comment that the school board attorney made, saying that all we had to do was to file a motion, that's not exactly correct. The petition, the lawsuit itself, was the request. It was the motion. They had an opportunity to respond, either to consent to our request that they give us the video plus unredacted copies of the investigative report, or that they fight it in the name of maintaining privacy that they claim these students are entitled to. Now, it only stands to reason that for as many times as you in the media report altercations on school buses that are covered by video cameras, and you have no such problem making that information public, how could these parents be denied the opportunity to see a similar kind of transaction and it somehow raise a privacy issue?
The technicality, you know, the technicality, all they had to do was file a petition or request. When you really think about from day one, these parents and Attorney King have been asking for the video surveillance to be released. And now, at 10 months past, they say, oh, all you have to do is file a request, we will give it to you. Would we be here filing these legal actions if it was that simple that they were going to give this videotape up? We absolutely believe somebody has already viewed that videotape, and for whatever reason, they do not want these parents to view that videotape.
Now, is it true that right now that video is in the hands of the U.S. Attorney's Office, Michael Moore in particular?
we think the video is in the hands of a lot of government officials.
Getting back to the first question that I had, tell me about the timetable that you expect to hear something back from this motion that you just filed.
Well, as I said, this is a petition for writ of mandamus. Essentially what that is an order directing public officials to do what they, by law, have a responsibility to do. And in this instance, the hearing on this petition must take place in no fewer than 8 days and no more than 30. So at some point between those two markers, the judge will, based upon his availability, set down a date and time at which Mr. Watson will then be expected to appear and to respond to that petition.
Come on, baby.
Yes, though I think it's most unlikely. I think that, coroner's inquests, while they're not done all the time, I think that when you consider the weight of the evidence in this case, you've got 2 autopsy reports that are conflicting with one another. You even have one that says that positional asphyxia was not indicated by what Dr. Anderson saw in his examination of the remains. That on top of Mr. Watson's public statement that the sheriff had violated, or persons connected with his office had violated the law by compromising the death scene, as well as failing to notify him for a period of at least 6 hours after they arrived at the school gymnasium and discovered the body. How could you, in the midst of all of these questions, deny this family an opportunity to have an investigation into the cause and manner of their child's death? The sheriff has already closed his file. He's ended his investigation. This is one way in which that investigation could be reopened.
Mr. Johnson, if a coroner's inquest goes forward, give us an idea of what you expect to take place at that time.
Well, in the coroner's inquest, the coroner can, through subpoena powers, mandate that witnesses appear and that items of evidence, including the video, be produced, and that information, that material be shown to a jury to decide whether or not the conclusions that have been reached thus far, that is, that Kendrick Johnson died as a result of an accident, whether or not that theory holds water. And we maintain and believe that the evidence will clearly show, A, that he was the victim of foul play, and B, that our opportunity and our effort at trying to get at the truth has been interfered with.
And I have to ask simply this here. The good thing about a coroner's inquest is the findings will be made public. There's a court reporter that transcribes every part of that has to be made public. And at the end of the day, the public has a right to know, because you asked about appeals and you asked about what happened at the coroner's inquest. But we have common sense and logic. And we know that the findings that now stand as the official cause of death flies in the face of all laws of physics and all common sense. So really, this coroner's inquest is so important, and it's a 2-pronged test. First, we have to get the video released, because that's such a simple thing. This video is simple. We can see with our eyes what happened. And if, as Attorney King has said previously, the sheriff's investigation is correct, and he climbed into the wrestling mat, we will see it with our own eyes. But if that is not the case, as we suspect it is not, then we will see that, and that cause and manner of death has to be amended so we can have a real investigation into the death of Kendrick Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, are you emotionally ready to handle this coroner's inquest?
We've been ready to say one.
I have a question. As far as a jury, I mean, so many people know about this case. Do you have any concerns about finding an impartial jury?
And I'll certainly have Attorney King chime in on this. We believe that the video and the objective evidence of DNA and blood will be very objective. That anybody who believes that science is authoritative and we can take DNA off of clothes and garments, we will be able to conclude who DNA that is. That's such a vital piece of evidence that is missing Kendrick Johnson's clothing. The scene investigation has been compromised, but we believe there are going to be some things that are objective that can speak to us, like that video, DNA, and blood evidence.
There's time sequence on the videotape showing Kendrick running into the gym. Is that the videotape you're talking about? Or is there another tape that hasn't been discussed?
There are as many as 4 video cameras in the gymnasium, each of which I would assume is recording images through their respective lens. So, if I understand your question correctly, it would be more than just the video that was released to CNN. The 7 frames that the school board had released came from one of the cameras. One, as far as I can tell, that would be to the far right as you enter the front end of this gymnasium. There is, however, one of these cameras that's aimed in the direction of the corner where Kendrick Johnson's body was discovered. If that camera was at all operational, which we had no reason to believe that it wasn't, if we had, you would think that we would have been advised of such by this time. But to the extent that that camera was operational, it should show either Kendrick entered into the mats as theorized, or that he was brought to the gymnasium by something than other under his own power.
And think about how Jackie and Ken felt when the CNN report came out that the video shows Kendrick was not alone in that gymnasium. All these many days and nights they've been struggling, just trying to get the simple truth to come out.
I want to hear from them. I want to hear their
Well,
reaction.
you may get that chance. Just think though, all they had to do just to get to that point, and the fact now that they know that Kendrick was not alone in that gymnasium, what else is there that has not been told to them?
Do you have any idea how many people were in that gym with Kendrick at that time?
We only know what's been reported, and that's the troubling thing. Why does this family have to find out from the media about the death of their child? You talk about insult to injury.
Let's talk about it, Mr. Johnson. Tell us about the long road that you're undertaking right now. Do you ever think it was going to be this hard to get answers?
We know that it's going to be hard because this is Lowndes County. Lowndes County, they used to families fighting against them. And whatever it takes, how long it takes, we're here. We won't stay.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be
hard. Kendrick was my son. So it can't be no harder than that.
Jackie, he said the last thing that you and Kendrick shared before he went to school was, "I'll see you later." Where are you now, emotionally?
Torn. Still don't understand you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm Kendrick's grandmother. I'm Jack's grandmother. And I think we come a long way. It's been a hard fight, and we know it's going to be a harder fight. But we here to justice.
What are you guys hoping with this filing? What do you hope happens?
We hope to see video and hope that they can see what really happened to Kim.
Now, I know that the family's had some suspicions about what's going on. This is a personal question, so if you don't want to answer, don't worry about it. Do you guys know? Have you heard rumors? Is that where that's coming from? Or
we from the first day it happened, we knew something was wrong. We know what type of boy Kendrick was and everything. So we're not going by no rumors. We just know ladies, no crime.
There's a new day a-coming. Everybody gonna be free. A better day for you and me. Everybody gonna be free. Everybody gonna be free, yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy. There'll be no more fighting in Vietnam. Everybody gonna be free all over this land. Everybody gonna be free, gonna be free. Everybody gonna be free, gonna be free. Everybody gonna be free, gonna be free. Lord have mercy. Everybody gonna be free. Yeah. Everybody gonna be free. There'll be no more fighting in Vietnam. Oh, everybody gonna be free. Mr. President, yeah, this is an open letter to you. I want to know, why don't you stop the fighting and bring all our boys home? That's right. But Mr. President, oh, can't you see all the protesters in the streets? And look at all the hungry people, the fatherless children with no shoes on their feet. Can't you hear them all saying? I can. They're saying, I wanna be free. Everybody wanna be free. Everywhere you go, they wanna be free. Everybody wanna be free. Way down in Georgia, they wanna be free. In South Africa, they wanna be free. New York ain't no better. They wanna be free. I said they wanna be free. All out below now, you hear them saying,